had to decide which place to try and be. And so I apologize and I appreciate your patience with me. But luckily, I think the matters that we have on the calendar are relatively straightforward. We only have two. So I'm going to start with the J.G. Wentworth versus, is it Talesia Dozier? Did I pronounce that correctly, ma'am?
It's Tasia.
Tasia. I'm sorry.
Tasia Dozier.
I'm
Tasia.
sorry. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Tasia Dozier. And Mr. Rogers, you're here on behalf of J.G. Wentworth. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. If you want to go ahead with your presentation, Mr. Rogers.
Thank you. Ma'am, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear that the testimony you will give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name, please.
Tasia Dozier.
Ms. Dozier, do you live in Fulton County?
Yes.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have any children?
No.
Did you enter a contract with J.G. Wentworth to transfer a $25,000 payment that comes due on November 26th of 2026?
Yes.
And you understand that payment today is worth about
Yes.
$21,879.61?
What you say?
Do you understand that that payment has a discounted present value today of about $21,879.61?
Yes.
And you've agreed by contract to receive $12,541.28. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
And you understand that amounts to an effective interest rate of about 29.99%.
Yes.
Ms. Dozier, were you given the chance to speak with a lawyer or a financial advisor, and did you waive that right in writing?
Yes.
Did you get a copy of the petition and the hearing notice 20 days ago?
Yeah.
Do you wish to proceed with this transfer, and are you asking the court to approve it?
Yes.
And are you under the influence of any medications or anything like that that would affect your ability to testify or to make decisions?
No.
Tell the judge what you wish to do with the funds if she approves this transfer.
You said what?
Tell the judge what you want to do with the money.
Basically just like invest in my business and help me out with my life, basically, because I have a lot going on right now. That's pretty much it.
Do you have bills you need to pay?
Yeah. Mhm.
What kinds
I
of bills
recently
are those?
just moved out of my apartment. Like my apartment bills and phone bills and just all kind of bills that I have to pay for. I'm finna start school as well. I gotta get off my college fees and a lot of stuff.
Okay. Um, have you thought about maybe getting a student loan for your college fees?
Mm, yeah, I think I'm supposed to be getting it. I'm not sure though.
And you're sure this is what you want to do?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
I just have a couple of questions. One, I just would like to understand a little bit about how the annuity came to exist, or whatever it is. I'm assuming it's an annuity, but how it came to exist. Ms. Dozier, can you tell me a little bit? Was this like a resolution of a lawsuit, or how did this money that the payment that you're supposed to receive? Why is it that you were supposed to receive that payment?
Um, I believe because of my mom's passing, she passed away when I was like 7 years old.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um,
So,
okay. Mr. Rogers, do you have any more knowledge about that?
Not off the top of my head, Judge. I might be able to scrounge that up, but I don't always have information about the backstory.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's dispositive. I just, I like to know those types of issues. And
Sure.
then, are you, Ms. Dozier, so the reason that this hearing is required, just so you understand, is that it's my job as the judge to make sure that you understand that, for example, the payment that, and there are good reasons for it. I'm not saying there aren't, but basically if you were to wait about a year and a half, you would be entitled to $25,000. But because you want that money now, you're going to get roughly less than half of the amount of money you would be entitled to in a couple of years. You understand that, right?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. And so like I said,
I'm just going through a lot right now.
Oh, I understand, and it's your money, ma'am. I don't mean to imply that you can't do with it as you choose. It's just my job to make sure that you understand that you're losing the benefit of that extra money over the next 2 years, and just to make sure that you understand that when you're making this decision.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Dozier. Mr. Rogers, it appears to me that you have checked all the boxes and satisfied all the legal requirements for the resolution that is proposed. Is this the one I don't think I have a proposed order on yet, Mr. Freehoff, have I just not seen it yet?
No, that's correct. We don't have a proposed order yet. Mr. Rogers is going to, I assume, try to get one to us fairly soon.
Okay.
I'm just waiting on Ms. Dozier's signature on it, and I'll forward that to Chambers as soon as it's available.
Okay. Okay. Well, as soon as all the signatures are signed, you can submit that order to me and we will go ahead and get it on file for you. Good luck to you, Ms. Dozier. I know you have a lot going on. I wish you the best. I hope that it all turns out well. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank
you. And you may feel free, both of you, Mr. Rogers and Ms. Dozier, to log off.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and then the next one is LVNV funding versus Malcolm Christopher. And I see that I have Mr. Stewart on behalf of LVNV funding. And then I see that I have Mr. Christopher who has appeared. And this one is actually not here on a default. This one is here. My understanding is that Mr. Christopher received the complaint and filed a response. And that the issue, there's a motion for judgment on the pleadings that's currently pending that basically says Mr. Christopher admitted that he owed the debt, and therefore we're entitled to judgment. And so that's sort of where we are. My understanding from Mr. Christopher's answer and also from his communications with my staff is that Mr. Christopher has not disputed that he owed the debt. It's just that he wanted to work out some sort of, payment arrangement or, that sort of thing. So, Mr. Stewart, can you tell me where we are from your client's perspective?
They're always open to payment arrangement. They haven't really heard anything so far. Sorry, I'm getting some alerts popping up. I certainly could do that. Otherwise, we just want to bring it to an end one way or the other, be it a consent or be it an order for judgment on the pleadings. However, just to bring the case to a conclusion one way or the other. So.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Stewart. Mr. Christopher, did you want to address the court in any way, sir?
No, other than to say that I know that this is my responsibility. I'm not evading it. And I intend to pay the debt.
Okay.
So hopefully they will grant me some kind of installment plan where I can do that.
Well, they almost always do. Mr. Stewart, what I was going to ask if the parties might, I have this Zoom available to me.
Okay.
What I'm wondering is if it would be a valuable use of y'all's time to perhaps go into a breakout room and see if there is a consent judgment to be resolved.
Sure. I can tell them what I can do on that. It looks a small balance, so we should be able to do it.
Okay, excellent. Well, listen, here's what I'd like to do. I know I've delayed you somewhat already, but if Mr. Freehoff can he's going to put the two of y'all in a breakout room. Mr. Christopher, I don't know how familiar you are with Zoom, but you're going to get a notice that says you have to hit something to go into the breakout room. And if y'all can talk, if y'all can work something out that Mr. Christopher can make work, then Mr. Stewart, you can simply submit to me a proposed consent order. And Mr. Christopher, you can talk with Mr. Stewart about what the dollar amounts would be and what that would mean. But the idea would be that it would be an order that I would sign where you acknowledge that you owe the debt and everybody agrees that you'll pay monthly payments in this amount. But you also acknowledge that in the event that you don't make one of those payments, that this is a judgment of the court and can be enforced in that way. You can talk with Mr. Stewart about that. But what I'd like for y'all to do is take a few minutes to talk through that. And then I'll come back at 10 o'clock. And we can see what we might, or if y'all come to an agreement, you can just let Mr. Freehoff know and I'll look for that order.
Okay, I could write it up and send it over depending on what signatures you would need, so.
Excellent. Well, I would just need Mr. Christopher's and, yours. So,
Okay.
anyway, Mr. Freehoff, if you'll put them in a breakout room, I will look for, if you have agreement, Mr. Freehoff will just let me know and I'll look for the consent order. If you don't have agreement, I'll be back at 10 o'clock and we will take it from there. Okay.
The breakout room has been created and they have had invites sent to them, so I think
Yes.
they can go. Okay.
I see it. I'm
All
going
right.
now.